If you were diagnosed with cancer tomorrow, what would matter more to you? Getting into treatment as fast as possible, or making certain you follow your insurance company's rules? Most people would say treatment. I would. Here's the truth. Your Medicare plan answered that question for you before you ever got sick. And most people don't find that out until it's too late to change. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like in real life. And here's what actually happens. And I want you to picture yourself in this story because one of these two outcomes is your future. Two women, the same age, same cancer diagnosis, and the same treatment plan. One starts treatment within days. The other is still waiting weeks later, fighting her insurance company while her cancer grows. Same disease, completely different outcomes, and it came down to one decision they each made before they got sick that influences the probability of their surviving cancer. One of them, Sarah, moves forward quickly. She meets with her doctor, formulates a plan of action, and starts treatment. Sarah had chosen a Medicare supplement years ago. She chose a Plan N to complement her original Medicare for healthcare coverage. There are no roadblocks for her treatment. The other client, and they were both clients, was Linda, and she runs into a few more steps that delay her care. Linda is told she needs to stay in network. The network limits who she can see unless she wants to go outside the plan and pay more or even pay for everything. But finding the right oncologist who works within her local service area and is contracted with her specific plan is difficult, stressful, nerve-wracking, and it feels like it takes forever. Linda finds a specialist finally, but before her first treatment can be scheduled, her insurance company needs to give permission. She files the paperwork, she waits briefly, but meanwhile her cancer doesn't wait. Now, Advantage plans are designed this way. That's not a flaw, it's just the system. But stay with me because what comes next is what nobody tells you before you sign up. So eventually, Linda's treatment gets approved. Most of the time with Advantage plans, it does. And if it is not approved right away, she can appeal. And most appeals are successful on the first try. They just take time. It's a process most insurance companies don't make easy, and it's an extra battle that she had to fight while fearing her cancer would get the best of her. For her, the clock is ticking. Linda's cancer is growing inside of her, and she hasn't even started treatment. When you're dealing with a potentially fatal disease like cancer, that waiting feels like forever, and it can tear you apart. So now their timelines are already off. Sarah has started her treatment already. She's actively battling her cancer. Linda is just getting into treatment, sort of getting ready to get ready. Her cancer is growing unopposed. Now let's talk about how the plans start to behave once treatment begins. Sarah, the woman with the Medicare Supplement Plan N, has flexibility here. She can go where she wants for treatment. If she wants a second opinion, she gets one. No network restrictions to work around. If the doctor or facility she wants to use is in a different state, she can travel there for treatment. Medicare and her supplement will still pay for her care. When treatment starts, her costs are straightforward. She pays her annual Part B deductible. After that, she has small, predictable office visit copays of no more than $20. So even though the situation is serious, the financial side is simple. It's affordable and it's predictable. That takes the financial stress off the table. Now, Linda, the one with the Advantage plan, her costs are structured differently. Every Medicare Advantage plan that I've seen uses a coinsurance for Part B services and has a clause that the policyholder will pay 20% for all cancer-related outpatient services up to her maximum out-of-pocket. And that's important here because a lot of cancer treatments like chemotherapy, infusions, and so on are billed under Medicare Part B, outpatient and physician services, not Part D. So that matters, and I'll cover why in a separate video. For now, just know that that's where the 20% kicks in. Anyway, instead of a fixed cost, she's paying a percentage for each treatment, 20% up to her annual maximum out-of-pocket limit. Needless to say, the cancer treatment is more expensive, and she will reach her maximum out-of-pocket limit during the very first month of treatment. Medicare sets the maximum out-of-pocket allowed each year, and for 2026 on an Advantage plan, the maximum allowed is $9,250 for in-network care and $13,900 if there is approved out-of-network treatment. Out-of-network treatment that is not approved is totally on the patient. In Linda's case, her plan had a maximum out-of-pocket of just $6,000. Many Advantage plans have a lower out-of-pocket maximum than what is allowed by Medicare, so that's not uncommon. So now she's dealing with treatment, and at the same time, she's absorbing a meaningful financial hit. And that's where the experience starts to feel different. It's not on paper, but in real life. So stop here for a moment, because this is the part that blindsides people the most. What happens when her treatment runs past December 31st? So stay with me here, because the moment the calendar flips to January is the part that way too few people prepare for. Most people watching this right now are making their plan decisions without knowing that this feature exists, because a lot of treatment extends from one calendar year into the next. So now the calendar flips to January. For the Advantage plan, the maximum out-of-pocket resets. Cost sharing starts all over again. She faces 20% of her Medicare bills up to the new maximum out-of-pocket limit for whatever it is that year. As a result, her costs for medical treatment have now exceeded $12,000, 2 years maximum out-of-pocket limit. But her treatment hasn't stopped. And I should note that she had to shop for a new Medicare plan, choosing that plan for the next year while ill and on cancer treatment. Now, she did have our help, but it was just another issue she had to deal with. It was another point of stress. So it's a new year, and she's starting over financially while still going through the same medical situation. And that catches many people off guard, because when they chose the plan, they were thinking about a worst-case year. They weren't thinking about one situation carrying into the next year. And this is something I see people completely miss and get very frustrated when they're choosing a plan and then they get sick. So no one really walks them through what happens if treatment crosses into a new year. So now compare that to the supplement. The Medicare supplement structure stays consistent. Medicare supplement benefits never change. There isn't a moment where it suddenly feels like everything is reset, except that she will pay the annual Medicare Part B deductible for the new year, and that is less than $300. So less than $600 total when you consider that she must pay the Part B deductible again in the new year, the one with the Medicare Supplement Plan. Also, her prescription drug plan is separate, which gives her the flexibility to adjust her Part D plan for her current medications without affecting her medical coverage. So what you end up here isn't just two different plans, it's two different systems. One's built around managing cost, the other is built around managing risk. And those are not the same thing. So Sarah is done with treatment. Her total out-of-pocket cost for 2 years is under $600 in Medicare Part B deductibles. Linda's over $12,000 for the same disease. Same treatment, different plan. And that's not a coincidence. That's the system working exactly as designed. And I would say that Linda also had a more difficult time because her cancer had advanced while waiting for her insurance to catch up with what she needed. When your insurance plan is focused on managing cost, it really means it's managing your care. And by managing, I mean limiting. When your insurance plan manages your financial risk, the quality of your health care is not compromised. Now, to be fair, this doesn't mean one plan is wrong for everyone. There are situations where Medicare Advantage plans work just fine and are the right plan for the right person. But it does mean that you need to understand exactly what you're trading when you decide to trade in your original Medicare for an Advantage plan. because most people focus on the monthly premium and assume the health coverage is the same. It's not. The premium is the number they see every month. Their health care coverage they only see when they need it. The bigger question is what happens when something goes wrong, because that's when the structure of the plan actually shows up. One approach keeps your monthly costs lower, but leaves more exposure when something serious happens. The other costs more up front, more on a monthly basis, but it reduces that financial shock when you need care the most. And the only way to really evaluate that decision is to ask yourself a simple question. If something went wrong tomorrow, what would I want my experience to look like? Because that's not something that you get to change in the moment. Now, if you're thinking, I'll just switch later if I don't like how this works, that's where a lot of people get surprised. Switching later is where a lot of people run into issues, because depending on your health, you may not be able to switch at all. And that's a completely different conversation that most people don't have until it's too late. My advice has always been, you choose today the Medicare plan that you will want to have when you are sick or injured. Because once you're sick or injured, you may not qualify to switch at all. The insurance company gets to say no, and they will. Don't let that be your story. Now, if you've found this information helpful, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified with any new videos. I'm Matthew Clausen, and if you want to know which plan protects you the way Sarah was protected, the link to talk with us is below. And if you're not sure which plan fits your budget, which is an important consideration, please contact us. We can help, and we do so at no charge. Again, I'm Matthew Clausen at MedigapSeminars.org, and I'll see you in the next video.